All right, Steak, Critical Method. This is a band of Belgians. They used to be called Steak Number 8. I used to like them very much. I didn't realise that they had changed their name. So this is sort of their 5th album. Sort of.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think they would definitely consider it their debut. But
Right.
so, that's interesting. I was sort of ho-hum about Steak Number 8, I have to confess. But I've not heard loads of Steak Number 8. How does this differ to Steak Number 8? Because it's very different, right?
No, I wouldn't say it's hugely different.
Is it not?
I wouldn't say it's hugely... Okay, so 2011's All Is Chaos was an album that I really, really liked. That's their second record. They were like 16, 17 when that record came out.
Yeah,
and
really
I think
young.
they got quite a lot of hype from me on the old Metal Hammer podcast at the time. They had that song on it, the one that goes, banana, banana. That song is Dickhead. You stupid motherfucker, you can suck my dick if you don't like my shit. Banana, 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 banana. Do you remember that song?
No.
Fucking great song.
It sounds like a System of a Down B-side.
It's good. But
just the way that you do it, I'm sure it's wonderful.
But what Steak Number 8 had, which I thought was really, really cool, and they didn't really follow it up after that record, but at the point, what I thought was cool they had was this kind of sludgy metal, stoner metal riffing, like one of the heavier bands from the sort of stoner metal scene. I probably won't say Mastodon, but you know what I'm talking about. Something like Red Fang, like that, mixed with the wiry punkiness of a late 80s sub pop band.
Yeah,
so a Mudhoney. So like Mudhoney and Red Fang together. I thought that's what Steak Number 8 were all about. And so, you know, yeah, to be fair, this doesn't sound like that.
Although actually those are bands and those are things that I reviewed this for Metal Hammer to be
a prick about it.
Not necessary to throw my cards on the table, I was going to say, or something along those lines. And Steak Number 8 were never a band that I disliked, but a band that for whatever reason I just never really got into. So when I was like, okay, this is Steak Number 8, but you know, renamed, I wasn't that excited about it. And then it came on, and I was like, this is fucking awesome, because it is a sort of strange. This album specifically feels like a strange mix of sort of Queens of the Stone Age,
got that,
with Sleep, with a bit of Deftones, with a bit of Mastodon, I think, here and there. And it just seems to take from so many different things and like sound a little bit like them for a bit and then jump onto something else and sound totally different. And I just, it's quite a difficult album to sum up, I think.
It is. Yeah, and I think they're a fairly like eclectic band, and I kind of think, to be honest with you, I particularly from that album that I was talking about before, All Is Chaos, I think they always, you know, they did always have elements of all that in them. I think this record definitely, it's been such a long time since I listened to that record all the way through. I can just remember that Banana song,
which I'm now going to check out.
Oh, it's wicked! It's so wicked. But yeah, I think this is definitely a sleeker, slicker, more professional, more mature, grown up, more expertly crafted and better sounding record.
Is it better, full stop?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it is.
Because that's what I said in the
But
Metal
hey,
Hammer
listen, listen, it is, but then I've not been back to that record.
Sure.
This is from my memory. This is a record that I love, the kind of punky energy mixed with fat fucking riffs.
Yeah.
Big, like, hairy bull riffs, but done in a really sort of wild, aggressive way. Whereas this has certainly got a lot more craft. It sounds cleaner, but it still sounds very heavy as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
but it still rocks like a bastard.
Oh yeah, definitely. And when I say cleaner, only because everything was bleeding out from that first record. Whereas this, you can hear, you know, there's a hell of a lot of that sort of Nirvana-y squalling feedback. And again, that's not totally been taken away from this record. I just feel like you can pick out individual parts a lot easier on this record. And I think
you can hear the intricacies of it.
Yes, and they've gone and toured with Mastodon and with ISIS, and I believe they've done shows with Dillinger, and who else have they done shows? They've done shows with, I was reading a thing saying they've been off on tour with all kinds of bands over the years, which I had absolutely no idea whatsoever. Was Sun? They couldn't have played with Sun, surely. Is that my imagination?
That'd be an interesting bill.
It may well have been completely have been my imagination. Mastodon, Dillinger, Deftones. It's got here.
That makes sense.
Which all of that makes sense. And at 9 tracks.
It's 8, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah, sorry, 8. Yes, you're right. Sorry, I've miscounted. 8 tracks. It's not a long record.
No. But it feels stuffed with ideas, doesn't it?
But it's got a hell of a lot of ideas on it.
Yeah.
And actually, when you say, I mean, I put Queens of Stone Age down, I put Mastodon down, I didn't put Deftones down, although I can definitely see it. Hawkeyes. I mean, I actually, there's one song on it called Torch. Yeah. There's one song on it called The Human Throne, which is unlike any that is definitely very different to anything that they did previously. That feels like a big, it sounds like a big 90s Brit rock song. I think that sounds like if 3 Colours Red had signed to Relapse.
Yeah, which sounds brilliant.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. I really love this record. I really, really like it. And I think if we are treating this as a debut album, and I know in theory it's a bit of a cheat if it is a debut album or not, but if we are treating this as a debut album, that it's
I don't think we can. You can't change your name and just is the Cult Dreams album a debut album?
No, true.
I suppose you say Chicken Hawk is not the second. Ideas is not the second Hawkeyes album.
I kind of do see Ideas as the second. Yeah. All right. Well, in a pretend world, if we were calling this a debut album, then I'd say it's one of the best debut albums of the year. Can we say that or not?
I mean, they've not even barely changed the bloody name of the band. Like they've just taken.
Steak is spelt differently.
Ooh, yeah. You take Kids off Code Orange Kids.
Yeah,
Code
sure.
Orange
You
didn't go like, oh, that stuff doesn't
All
exist.
right, fine. Well, look, the point is it's a great record.
It's a good record, yeah. It doesn't diminish the fact that this is a good record, Renfrey. I don't want to sort of make you think that I'm saying that at all.
I mean, it's like a journey through all of my favorite bands. This album, basically, like so, Devolution. Could like that's the 6th track. It could end any other album. It's like so massive and epic, and it basically sounds like Caius slowed down and playing through My Bloody Valentine's pedal boards.
Yeah,
and it's just like this massive lumbering kind of thing. And then, as I said, I've already mentioned Hawkeyes and Torch and Queens of the Stone Age and Deftones and it sounds like all of these bands and none of them at the same time. And then you've got Dosed Up Salvations, which is the track immediately after that. Mm-hmm. Which is the best Cavell Attack song that Cavell Attack never wrote, which then has a bridge which sounds like Mike Patton. Like it's just like, but it evokes all of these bands without directly ripping them off, and yet it's very much its own thing, and it almost sounds like it has so many ideas going on that it would sound a bit mixtapey, but actually it flows incredibly well. It's about 39 minutes, 8 tracks, as you said. And it just, I just think from start to finish, it's just a really, really fucking great record. Like, I just wanted to bring it in because I didn't know if people would know about this band or not. They're playing The Social in London next month, which I don't think is a massive venue at all.
I don't know anything about it, to be honest.
But it feels like to me that, I mean, some of this stuff is really abrasive and heavy, but the more kind of, certainly that Queens of the Stone Age edge to it, which I think there is quite a lot of. I
quite
think,
modern Queens of the Stone Age as well.
Yeah. I think the lighter moments from this album, I'm not suggesting this is going to happen, to be super clear, but I think the lighter moments of this album in a slightly different world could be on the radio.
Definitely, yeah.
And it's really nice to get a melodic alternative rock band who properly fucking rock, but have a sense of melody as well. I mean, there are times where they are just screaming their nuts out.
Yeah, I mean, like, weirdly, I think even to bring it to kind of more contemporary bands, there's times on this record where, I mean, we reviewed Dinosaur Pileup and St. Pierre Snake Invasion in the same week, and there's points where you go, this could have gone on either of those records.
Yeah, true, absolutely. Less annoying than Dinosaur Pileup, but yeah. No, but yeah, that's a very astute and absolutely, yeah, very good point. Like, and yet it sounds cohesive and really, really well put together. It's on Hassel Records, and I think Hassel have history of doing these weird, slightly off-kilter bands that are just excellent.
It's been a while since I've heard anything from Hassel Records, to be honest.
Yeah, when I think of Hassel, I think of like James Cleaver Quintet and stuff. Yeah, like that. I think
exactly. That was the sort of period, and they came out around that period as well. And it was a little period where Hassel were releasing loads of really, really cool bands. I remember being like, "Fucking hell, this is a really good label." And then they've sort of disappeared. I don't even know who's on it now. Do you know who's on it?
No.
Do you want me to look it up?
Yes. Hopefully this will be some sort of resurgence. I mean, like, if you take I need to mention the last song, Eyes for Gold, 7-minute closer. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that's wicked.
And there is a riff at the end of it, which again could have been on, I think, early Queens of the Stone Age. This particular riff. And the riff is just played the same way over and over again, but the drums keep doing a different pattern and like making it go into like different sort of time signatures and all sorts of different things. And it is incredible what he is doing. He's just playing different drum parts all around this same riff. I could listen to that bit over and over again and still not be able to figure out exactly what's going on and what he's doing. But there are so many cool bits on this record. I really love it. I mean, it was, I thought it was imperative that I bring it in for Riot Act because it feels like a band who...
They tick a lot of boxes for us, yeah, definitely. Totally. I like this record a lot. It's really good.
Good.
Hassel, I've got Brutus.
Oh, of course they do.
Casey, Glue, don't know them. Lonely the Brave, I didn't actually realise they were still going, but he's got a good voice, that guy. He's really good. Max Raptor, they've been around for a while. Pace Shifters, Pagan, Petrol Girls, Foxjaw, again, like quite a lot of Press Club, Stake, Swedish Death Candy, don't know them. Wes Meets West, and the Joy Formidable.
Ah, the Joy Formidable.
Yeah. So that's
still a pretty good roster, though.
It's a good roster, that.
Yeah. But Hassel are really good. Like, when Hassel get it right, they're really good at picking bands which are kind of alt rock, but really at the same time really difficult to pigeonhole. And I think they have done exactly that with this, with Mistake.
Well, I mean, when you think like how we spoke about, I think the second episode we ever did was we talked about Pagan. We've spoken Pagan. A lot about Foxjaw and Brutus in this past year. Yeah, that seems like a good place for a band like this to be.
Definitely.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah.
All right, that's Stake's debut album. It is not Critical Method. It's the 5th album from the band formerly known as Stake Number 8 and now currently known as Stake. And it's
if it was a debut, though.
Well, it's still good. Get over yourself.